This video is an overview of COG account creation and the Kentucky Health Information Exchange's manual lab data entry functionality in the ePartner viewer. When being provisioned access to the manual data submission role in the ePartner viewer, users will receive an email invitation to register for the Kentucky Online Gateway. Users must click the Click Here to Complete the Process link in the invitation email, where they will be redirected to the Kentucky Online Gateway registration page. Please note, this link is active for 7 days. The registration link is only valid for a one-time use. If the user clicks the link and does not complete the registration process, a new link must be sent. If the link expires, the KHI org admin must send another invitation to create an account. Once users click the link, the COG landing page displays. If the user does not have an existing COG account, the user must click Create Account. Please note, if the user already has an existing COG account with the same email address from which they received the invitation to enroll, then the user does not need to create a new account and may log in to COG using the existing credentials. From here, a user will enter the registration information. There are mandatory fields that are marked with red asterisks. Users must enter their first name, last name, email address, and password. In addition, users should enter their street address, city, state, and zip code. Finally, users must enter the answers to their first and second security questions. After users have completed the mandatory fields, they should click Sign Up. The pending email verification screen displays. The user's COG account is pending until the user returns to their email to verify their COG account. Users are sent an email to the email address that they provided when creating the COG account. This email is titled Account Verification and comes from the cog_do-not-reply@ky.gov email address. Please note, if the verification email is not in the inbox, users should check the junk and spam folders. Users must click the link in the email where they will be redirected to the COG login page. If the user entered their phone number during registration, they are asked to register their phone number again. Users have the option to receive a passcode via text. For the purposes of this demonstration, the skip and continue path is demonstrated. After users click Skip and Continue, they must click Continue to sign in to navigate to the COG homepage and complete the account creation process. On the COG login page, users must enter their username and password that they created during account registration. Users must click Sign In to access the ePartner viewer. After users log in, they may be asked to register as an organ donor. To register as an organ donor, users must click Yes, Register Now, or users can click Remind Me Later to be redirected to the ePartner viewer. After users log in, they are asked to complete multi-factor authentication, or MFA. Users have the option to receive their MFA passcode by email or text. For the purposes of this demonstration, the email path is demonstrated. Users must select MFA by email verification and then click Send Passcode. Users must open their email in a separate tab and open an email titled Passcode for MFA from cog_do-not-reply@ky.gov. Users must enter the 8-digit code that is in the body of the email into the Enter Passcode field on the multi-factor authentication screen. Users must then click Authenticate, where they will be redirected to the Terms and Conditions screen for the ePartner viewer. After logging into the Kentucky Online Gateway and completing multi-factor authentication, the Terms of Use page is displayed. Privacy and security obligations are outlined here. Users must accept the terms of use every time before accessing a patient record in the ePartner viewer. Please note, the right side of the portal is grayed out and displays a message that states, "Access is restricted beyond this point. You must accept the terms and conditions before proceeding." Once users select "I accept," the grayed out section becomes visible. A message appears that indicates the user is associated with an organization. Users must select Proceed to Portal to access the ePartner viewer. Please note, users who select Cancel will see a pop-up notification that indicates the user is about to be logged out. Use of the ePartner viewer portal is subject to the acceptance of KHI's terms of use. Users must select either Log Out Now or Cancel to proceed to the ePartner viewer. Once a user with the manual data submission role accesses the ePartner viewer, the patient demographic screen displays for lab data entry. When entering the ePartner viewer, the Lab Data Entry tab displays in the blue ribbon at the top of the screen. Users who have additional access to clinical information will see other tabs displayed in addition to the Lab Data Entry tab. Lab Data Entry is a four-step process where users begin by entering patient demographics, observation results, provider details, and answers to specific questions asked at data entry. Please keep in mind several key notes when entering patient data. There are mandatory fields marked with red asterisks. These fields must be completed in order to proceed. In addition to completing the mandatory fields, users are encouraged to enter as much information as possible. Please note that help icons are available to guide users while they are entering data in the fields. For entering address information, please note that all states are available for selection in the state dropdown. When a user selects the state of Kentucky, all Kentucky counties are available for selection in the county dropdown. However, when users select any state other than Kentucky, the system will display the message "Out of System State" and will not display counties in the county dropdown. To start lab data entry, users must complete the patient demographic screen. Users start by selecting the performing facility name from the drop-down box. Then enter the patient's MRN or medical record number, followed by the patient's last name, social security number, middle initial, and first name. Users must enter the patient's date of birth by entering 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day, and 4 digits for the year. Users may click the date of birth field to bring up a calendar. Users can click a date on the calendar or use the drop-downs to select the month or year. Users should ensure they are selecting the correct year when using the calendar function. Then users must select the race description, gender, and ethnicity description. Users must then enter the telephone number, and if available, enter the email address. Users should then enter the patient's street address, city, zip code, state, and county if available. Users must click Next to proceed to entering observation details. On the observation page, users start by entering the filler order number or lab accession number. Users must then enter the specimen collection date and time. To enter the time, users can scroll down to select the approximate time of specimen collection. Then users must select the specimen type from the drop-down, followed by the appropriate test name. Please note, the test blank field updates based on the test name selected. Then users must select the test result. The options are positive, detected, negative, not detected, or other. Please note, users who select Other from the test result dropdown must enter the reason in the Other Reason value field. Next, users must enter the observation result date and time. Please note, the observation result date and time has the same functionality as the specimen collection date and time field. Next, users should enter the name of the testing product. Please note that hovering over the help icon will explain that the name of the testing product refers to the platform being used to perform the testing. For example, Abbott ID Now or Sofia SARS Antigen FIA. Next, users can enter the device identifier. The help icon explains that the device identifier is a unique ID given to the specific device that was used to perform the testing on that patient's specimen. For example, the device's serial number or barcode can be entered here. Users can click Add Observation to log the details for multiple observations. Users can click the trash bin icon at the top right to delete an observation. Users must click Next to proceed to provider details. After completing the observation details page and clicking Next, the provider details screen displays. The performing facility information has been pre-filled based on the lab selection made from the drop-down on the patient demographics page. Users must enter the ordering provider's last name and first name, then the ordering facility name. Then users must enter the ordering provider NPI or National Provider Identifier. Users must enter the ordering provider's street address, city, zip code, and select a state from the dropdown. Users should enter a phone number if available. Users must click Next to proceed. At the end of lab data entry, there are a series of questions that healthcare providers ask patients regarding COVID-19 testing. Users will enter the answers to those questions here. Users can select either Yes, No, or Unknown from the First Test dropdown, which reports whether or not this is the first time the patient has been tested. Users then answer the Symptoms dropdown. Hovering over the Help icon provides guidance used to report whether or not the patient has symptoms. When users select Yes, they must enter the date of onset by entering the month, day, and year when symptoms began. When users enter No, the onset date field is grayed out and is disabled. To report whether the patient has been admitted or transferred to the intensive care unit, or ICU, during this time, users can select one of the options from the dropdown. Hovering over the Help icon provides reporting guidance. Users can select one of the options from the Healthcare Worker or HCW dropdown to report whether the patient being tested is a healthcare worker or not. For the Hospitalization dropdown, users can select one of the options to report whether the patient has been hospitalized or not. Users should hover over the Help icon to review additional guidance. Please note, users should select No if this test was ordered during an ER visit. To report whether the patient is a resident in a congregate care setting, users can select one of the options from the dropdown. Hovering over the Help icon provides guidance to identify congregate care settings and assist with answering this question. Then, users can indicate the status of pregnancy using the Pregnancy dropdown. The pregnancy option is enabled only when the user selects female from the gender dropdown on patient demographics. Users can click Submit to complete the lab data entry. A confirmation option is available to select either Submit to submit an entry or Cancel to review and/or change data in the entry. Please note that once a report has been submitted, it is final. Users should click OK when the data entry has been submitted successfully. Congratulations! You have submitted a manual lab data entry using KHI's direct lab data entry functionality. If you have any questions about this demonstration, please visit the KHI website at https://khi.ky.gov. Thank you for watching.